Alex Sonde here from Monomaniac Esports. I'm actually sitting here with Ryan, RJZ. Most of the scene probably doesn't know too much about you. Do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit more about your background.
I'm RJZ, like you said. I've been playing since about a couple months after the release. I played Brood War competitively, well, semi-competitively, and I broke out of Grandmaster I broke into Grandmaster like 2-3 years ago, or 3-4 seasons ago, and I've just been consistently getting better, you know. And last season I finished in the top 50 AGM, and yeah.
Sure. And did you come from a Brood War background, or?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you play IC Cup?
Yeah, I played IC Cup. My top rank was B-. So yeah, I was alright.
Okay. And what was your race in Brood War?
I played Terran.
Terran in Brood War? Okay. And immediately my thought is, what would be the change? Why did you change from Terran in Brood War to Zerg in StarCraft 2?
I think it was because I really liked the Zerg Mutalist micro. It was just crazy fun and you just stack them all up. It was just and then I liked the Defiler. I just liked a lot of the mechanics of the Zerg, and I thought it'd be really fun. I thought it'd be fun in StarCraft 2.
Sure. Okay. Understandably so. Okay, and we're actually here at IPL5 Day 2. What are your thoughts of the event? You're not playing at this one, but what are your thoughts as a spectator and as a player?
I think it's really cool. The skill cap is huge. There's 72. I would say at least Code A, Code S level players, all of them. So it's insane. All the games are good games. We just saw Scarlet versus DRG. It's crazy. It's awesome.
Sure, yeah, it is. I think it's 70, how many did you say? I think
72.
72, yeah. So it's basically like a Code S on steroids, so to speak.
Yeah.
There's best European talent, best Korean talent, best North American talent. What do you think about the venue? They took a little bit of a different approach. MLG has everything in just one giant center. This is obviously at the Cosmopolitan, right downtown Las Vegas. What do you think about everything being kind of stretched out? What are your thoughts as far as that goes?
I think it's really cool. Las Vegas is obviously it's a great, exciting city. So, and everyone seems cool around here. All the people who aren't involved or just working the Cosmopolitan, they seem like they're appreciative of them having the event here. So it's really cool for esports how moving to really big cities like this. And the venues itself are great. There's huge TVs. The lighting and the sound is amazing. It's just I don't know, it's just really good.
No, sure. And this is your first time in Vegas, or?
Yeah, it's my first time.
Yeah, and obviously a little bit outside of esports, but what are your thoughts on Vegas being the first time you've been here?
I haven't actually gone out to experience the full extent of it. I just walked around because I just got here yesterday. So I think it looks awesome. It's definitely not what I'm used to.
No, sure, I understand. Yeah, definitely coming to Vegas, it's obviously a good move for esports, becoming more mainstream. Definitely that'll hopefully become more socially acceptable and it'll continue to grow. A little bit more of you as a player. You haven't played in too many tournaments or too many qualifiers for the major these major events. Could you go into a little bit more of the reason for that, or why that's the case?
I've just been really busy with school. I'm going to school full time now, and I work. I just got a lot of stuff going on, so it's hard to. Occasionally, if I have a day off, I'll try to play ham or other stuff like that. But I don't know. It's really hard. Just I don't know.
No, I understand. Do you have plans to make any changes for that going forward? To play in more qualifiers, to play in more tournaments, that type of thing? And how do you think you'll do when you do make that transition into really consistently playing in these?
Yeah, I think that I should I need to start doing it more, but just play as many tournaments and qualifiers as I can, because I see there's people who who I think that I'm on the same level of, who are getting into tournaments like IPL5 and other tournaments like this. So I think that if I keep working a little bit harder, put a little more effort into it, I can possibly break that barrier as an actual person.
Yeah, because you've always maintained a strong ranking on ladder. People question what the worth of that is, but always a good win ratio percentage. And you've also, notably here in the ESEA playoffs, as MME as a whole, we took second place here, or in the team league, I should say. And we defeated Infinity 7 in the semifinals and lost States Goes to in the Ace match. Notably, you did beat Wongson. It was 2-1, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it was 2-1, which is obviously a big win. He actually placed I think it was 7th at the last LG. Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, I know you touched on this a little bit before with the question, but where do you see yourself and how do you see yourself ranking up upon these guys? When you play on the ladder, obviously you have those people kind of known as the ladder heroes or the ladder rankings, but those people that you play on the ladder who are always competing at these events, how do you compete against them? How do you feel like the games go, and how close are you to really making that jump to really being the up-and-coming player of North America?
Well, like, when I play those big pro players, I just try to play my own game. I don't try to, because I want to see how I stand up to them, in a good macro game. And I think I've taken games off pretty much every pro player that I play, because I play them all the time. I may not have the best win ratio, but I'm good enough to take games off of them. So I feel that if I just work a little bit harder, then I could get that myself.
Sure. And how would you describe your Zerg play as a whole? What would you consider your play style? What would you consider your strengths and weaknesses as a player?
I'm pretty greedy.
Pretty greedy?
I'm pretty greedy, I would say. That's just how I play. I try to take it to the late game. That's where I think I'm the strongest, And if I can hold off those early pushes, I think I'm in really good shape.
Sure. And do you feel like your greed is something that'll have to, I mean, on ladder, everything's the best of one, so to speak. So greed they learn your play style when it's too late, they've already lost the game. But when you get into tournaments and start playing and competing in these qualifiers where it's best of 3 or something like that, how do you feel you have to change up your play style? I mean, because if you're consistently being a macro, so to speak, greedy player, how do you think that'll kind of backfire, and how do you think you'll have to adapt to really make up for it in the best of 3 or best of 5 series?
I mean, I'm relatively unknown, right? So a lot of people don't know my style, but I will have to mix up some different strategies. You can't always do the same thing every single time, but I think that it's better to just work on your macro game. Get that established. Once you're good from there, you can work on other things. So just work on the macro. Yeah.
Sure. And then going forward for, obviously 2012 is coming to an end. 2013 starting, we're not sure exactly when. We know the release date of Heart of Swarm, but we don't know exactly when major events will kind of transition. What are your thoughts on that? How do you think they'll transition? When do you think they'll transition? And how do you think all that will kind of work?
I think that for the good part of 2013, there'll still be Wings of Liberty tournaments, because I mean, no one really knows how hard this one's going to come out. Everyone's speculating it's going to be bad, it's going to be good, so no one really knows. So I think that, like I said, I think that I don't know when it would be a good time to make the transition to Heart of Swarm. It's hard to tell. I still think I could make some things happen, so I don't know.
No, sure, I understand. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of the players discussing that. When is the best time to transition? If you transition now, obviously you'll have a little bit of a lead going into Heart of the Swarm, but you're giving up kind of your Wings of Liberty career, so to speak, as far as it's going to be a little bit harder to perform if you're not consistently practicing that. How do you feel about that? Have you played Heart of the Swarm, and how much have you played?
I've played it just not that much, maybe 100 games or so. I mean, I honestly haven't tried out all of it. But I think it's really perhaps aspect of the game. There's so many different things. I haven't played it that much to honestly give a good opinion on it.
Sure, I understand. Yeah, I heard Mr. Bitter and a couple other people talking about it. They're saying they're just kind of playing Zerg in Heart of the Swarm, but they're not even using the new units. It's going to definitely take a lot of work to try to transition those games to your builders and that. But going into 2013, you're one of those players who's kind of on the edge. You perform well on the ladder. You've done well in the team leagues, beating notable players. How do you think you're going to do in 2013? What are your goals? What are you looking to do? Are you looking to get into a major event? How are you looking to perform overall?
I mean, I still haven't been doing MLG yet, so I definitely want to go to one of those next year. Obviously banking it would be the biggest thing, so that'd be awesome. And then making it into a qualifier like IPL or even some of this, I don't know, just anything. Just qualifying for anything would be, qualify for any major tournament.
Sure. And what do you think you'll have to do to make it into that? How much practice do you need to be putting on? What do you specifically need to be working on to make that next big step?
I mean, it's really tough because people say you need to play 6 to 8 hours a day to make it to this thing, and I'm just it's really hard for me to do that, I want to go out and do active stuff, you know.
Sure.
I can't always sit in the place, so it's going to take a lot of dedication, really. Like, it's going to take a lot of dedication.
Sure. But is it something that you firmly believe you're confident and capable of doing?
Yeah, I can definitely do it. Like, there was like over the summer when school was out and stuff, I was playing a lot, and I was like consistently top 16 for a long time in Grandmaster, and that's what I was playing like a good, I would say 4 or 5 hours a day, you know, maybe a little less, but I don't know. And then recently I've been the school started and stuff, so it's harder. And but if I think I could retain that same work ethic that I did before this summer, I think I could really get
And then outside of you a little bit, just talking about the current level of StarCraft, do you have any players that you draw inspiration from, or any players that you really like to look at and follow and kind of study their build, so to speak?
Obviously the big names like Stefano, Scarlet, you know, always look to them. I don't really follow the Korean scene that much. I mean, I probably should because that's the highest level of play. But I don't know, for some reason Stefano seems to be like the biggest one that I try to copy or mimic his play.
Stefano, okay. And then while we're at this event, who do you think has the best chance of winning this? I know there's so many players, it's obviously really hard to predict. Zergs have been doing quite well as of recently. Do you think it's going to be a Zerg? And if you had to guess, who do you think it'll be?
Obviously Life, really good. DRG, huge names, DRG, Life. You know, there's so many good people here that it's really hard, but I'm going to predict a PvZ final. I don't know really, I don't know the players, but I think it's going to be
Sure. And you named a couple of Zergs. Who do you think is going to be the Protoss, if you had to guess? Hero's been doing really, really well as of recently. He just won DreamHack. He's been doing well. It's kind of being questioned if he's finally getting his nerves under control. Like he's had a long issue of that in the past. Do you see him making it to the finals?
Hero definitely up there. Like he beat Solana earlier, so 2-1. So that was really good. And he just won. So yeah, Hero's
Hero
good.
just won DreamHack. So yeah.
Hero's good. Raider, really good. I mean, I don't know. There's so many. Wong's really good. I don't know. If we saw like people like Leia, Raider too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's so many. I don't know. There's so many people. But Zero.
No, sure. I understand. Let's see. To wrap things up, do you have any shout-outs you want to give, or anyone you're kind of looking to give a shout-out to, or your team or sponsors, whatever it may be?
Shout out to Mono Maniacs.
There we go.
Razor, our head sponsor. All of our other sponsors owned, and TeamSpeak. So all those guys and all my teammates, and yes,
Sure. And make sure to check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, /MonoEsports. And other than that, we will be continuing coverage, so make sure to check all that out and go over to www.monoesports.com. Other than that, thank you very much for the interview, thank you for your time, and we'll see you later.